Hi everyone, welcome back to this week's Hero Beauty Products series. We're delighted. The first thing that we're going to be focusing on hair. And we're delighted, especially to be joined by Tori Keane, who's going to share
all of my knowledge.
So Tori, you had like a very clear. And guys, apologies about the sound. That's why we're a bit late trying to sort it out. But you started off as a hairdresser on Ireland Day, right columns, you're a brand ambassador for Nail and Jane, and maybe you can explain a bit about how you started off.
Okay, well, I still do a lot of hairdressing. That's my main passion, is just doing hair. I'm lucky because I kind of have my fingers in lots of pies in the hairdressing world, so I'll never get bored just doing any one thing. But I started off with Peter Mark, and I did my apprenticeship with Peter Mark, and then I was doing like work experience in TV3 in the makeup room. And kind of getting a feel for hair and makeup, and then I started working in TV3 in the makeup room doing hair and makeup for the presenters and the guests for Ireland AM. So I was working part-time in the salon and then part-time for TV3, and it just kind of got a bit much in that, like, the hours for Ireland AM, you'd have to be like up at 3:30 a.m. and I was doing that Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and then I was in the salon on Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, and you know, it was fine for a couple of years. So anyway, I packed in the makeup room and I started doing on-screen on Ireland AM. So they'd asked me to do a few little makeovers and stuff. I actually started off in men's hair, and that was my first kind of series. Yeah. So I did men's hair to begin with and was absolutely bricking it for the whole, like, I think I did like 10 slots of men's hair. And at the time, Debbie O'Donnell was the producer, and she said, oh, you know, you'd be grand after your first 10. And I was going, I can't do 10, it's live. But anyway, I got into it. I'm doing it a long time now, so it's great. And I still love it. And like, it's just such a lovely place to work. Everyone is so nice there. And I think if I was thrown into a different show or something, I might be freaked out. I'm just so comfortable there in Ireland AM. So it's like a second home to me.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably like
yeah, it is. It's lovely. And I do that, and I also do a lot of weddings. So weddings would be another big, huge part of my job. So that would be mostly weekends. I gave up the salon years ago because I went freelance, and you kind of have to be available Thursday, Friday, Saturday. When you're freelance, they're your busy days, and then they're also salons' busy days. So kind of had to make a break for it. So I went solo in 2010, and I teach courses, and I'm currently teaching in Blackrock College at the moment, further education institute. So I finished that up this week. So that's been really fun because it's something a little bit different. So then I've been writing articles, mostly on behalf of Mane and Tail, being their ambassador. So I'm kind of doing all their media stuff, which is great because I love the brand, and that's obviously a huge plus. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't. And so I kept busy, lots of different things going on.
Brilliant. And speaking of Mane, we're looking up for some of you we're going to have a giveaway.
Yes, we are.
So if somebody is watching us either live or watching the video back afterwards, leave us a comment, and Tori and I will sort you out with some fabulous products from Mane and Tail, and we'll pull out
and what I'll do is, Fiona, I'll get in contact with that person, ask them a few things about their hair type, and I'll tailor make a little gift pack for them with all Mane and Tail goodies in it. So they get the right products for their hair type, which is also very important.
That'll be amazing. Thank you so much.
No bother.
So maybe to start a bit about how you came across Mane and Tail yourself.
Yeah, so it's funny because I don't know, anyone that's into horses would have known about Mane and Tail before. I'm a horsey girl, so I had a horse. I was lucky enough to have a horse when I was growing up. and spent a lot of time at this table. Very lucky, yeah. Well, I have 5 sisters and a brother. So me and a few of my sisters, we shared the pony. So yeah, it was a great way to grow up. But we used to go out to the big horse riding shops to get our equipment and stuff. And you'd see Mane and Tail on the shelves. And it was such a treat to buy it. Like, we had a show coming up, you know, to do the horse with, you know, we'd buy Mane and Tail. And then years and years later, I was where was I? I was going on holidays or something, and I needed to get, like, just grab shampoo and conditioner. And I saw it on the shelves, and it's so distinctive, like in the blue and yellow packaging. I was like, that's the exact same stuff. But they've developed it so far from being a horsey brand. Like, it's, you know, their hair brand is for humans. And they've a whole load in the range of different hair types and stuff, because, you know, everyone's hair type, you need a specific product. You know, you can't just buy a generic shampoo that'll suit everybody. That'll never happen. So they have a great range now. So yeah, it's been fun experimenting with the different types in the range instead of just having the one original one that was there years ago. So yeah, it's gas how it's come from being. And actually, there's a hand cream as well, Fiona, called Hoof Maker. Do you have it? It's brilliant. It's so good. So good. And that was developed for horses' hooves. So when people would be polishing the horses' hooves, they realized how soft their hands were. And now it's a hand cream. Yeah. So it's great for any dry.
That is how the brand was for horses.
Yeah. Well, when you think about it, like, horse's hair is 5 times stronger than human hair. So whatever's going to work on their hair is going to be amazing for our hair, you know? And that's the main thing about Mane and Tail. It's like healthy, strong hair. That's what it promotes.
Okay.
That's what it wants, really.
And Tori, does it live up to the health then? Like, you obviously use all the products all the time.
Yeah. Do you know, Fiona, years ago when they didn't have much in the range, as I said, specific for specific hair types, like, the original would have been very heavy for certain hair types. And a lot of people that I've spoken to since they used it years ago said, oh no, that was too heavy for my hair. Like, I couldn't use it. But now that they have all the different hair types, like, it's anyone that I've recommended it to have loved it. Like, so far it has lived up to the hype with anyone that I've, you know, recommended it to or spoken to about it. So yeah, it's getting great traction.
Brilliant. And it's really widely available.
Pardon me?
Sorry, I was just saying it's widely available.
Yeah, oh yeah, you can get it most chemists now. You can get it in Boots, you can get it in McCabe's, you can get it in Dunnes stores, you can get it online at lookfantastic.com, and even ASOS is selling it as well on their website. So yeah, like, it's not a case of where you run out of shampoo and you're like, oh, where, you know, I can't get to the chemist to get it. You know, it's everywhere now. So it's great, really easy to get.
Perfect. But we might move on to and we're looking up to have a fabulous summer, loads of sunshine. Now the rain is around. Do you have any tips from here this time of year?
Oh God, yeah, so many. How long have you got? Okay, so let's start off with, you said we had a great summer. Okay, so this is the problem I'm finding with a lot of my clients. Our hair isn't used to that at all. Like, usually you'd go away on your holidays, you'd be a good girl and you'd put on a hat, or you'd, you know, put conditioner in your hair and put it in a bun. But people weren't doing that here, and we had just as hot summers as Spain had. So people's hair is wrecked after the summer. So starting off with the sun, if it's like kind of more sun damaged and dryness, staying on the Mane and Tail thing, I would use, there's a deep moisturizing in their range. So it's deep moisturizing shampoo and conditioner. So it's amazing for literally like just hydrating, like moisturizing your like parched hair. If you feel like your hair is real thirsty and dry, it's brilliant. The Mane and Tail conditioner, the deep moisturizing conditioner in particular, is really good. And then shampoo wise, deep moisturizing might be heavy for the too heavy for the finer hair types. So what you could use is their Herbal Essentials one in the range, or Gentle Clarifying is a good one if your hair is more kind of fine. And then they have a detangler in the range as well, which has loads of like yummy ingredients that like just really rehydrates your hair. You'd spray that in when your hair is wet, and it detangles and it nourishes. And the good thing about using a leave-in is that you're not washing it out. So it's staying in your hair while you blow dry it, while you style it, until you wash it the next time. So I would always recommend, whether it be an oil or a conditioning spray, whatever, like always use a leave-in that you don't rinse out, no matter what. Make it part of your regime. Yeah. Yeah, so that's only going on the sun damaged hair.
Yeah.
So if it's more so what you're looking for is like to combat the frizziness that there gives us.
Break it out of the car.
Oh, stop. Well, there's another product in their range that's a hair strengthening spray, and it's a really good barrier. So again, staying on the leave-in thing, now you can use hair strengthener on dry or damp hair, it doesn't matter. But it creates a barrier between your blow dry and the elements. So it's a really good like for holding what you've done. So whether you've not in a hairspray sense, but if you can imagine like a protective veil over your hair, so it kind of smooths down your frizz and kind of stops it from popping back up again, I suppose. And that can be used, as I said, wet or dry. So I'd recommend the hair strengthener. It's a genius product.
And if you use that, does it cause your hair to like need to wash more often, or you get quicker?
No. And do you know what, Fiona? It's very rare that happens now in any of the ranges. Like the products are so developed now. They're fantastic in that the brands know that you don't want greasy hair after you wash your hair, So like same with the oils. Like I have so many clients that are terrified of oils. They're like, oh no, my hair, it's too greasy for oils. But the oils absorb, like they're developed to absorb. It's not like you're putting olive oil on your hair. You're using proper oils, that are specifically for hair. So it absorbs into the hair shaft and it protects the hair. So same goes with the mane and tail strengthener and detangler. They absorb so well. Like there's no greasy after feel or anything from it. It's just nutrients, basically.
Joe, it sounds so much like skincare these days. People put oils on their skin, doesn't go oily.
I know, and then you hear like, the Italians have, or the Spanish, they all have the longer life expectancy because they use olive oil in their food. Like it just shows like the oils are where it's at, isn't it? They don't put olive oil in your hair. But yeah, it is. It's all about the oils again. Yeah.
Perfect. And then Tori, the trends for colours for the moment, from pastels to like brighter reds, right across the board.
Oh yeah. Okay. So like I'm a stickler for this. So I would always say to my clients, you're spending so much money on your colour. Why scrimp on your hair care then? So you're spending, 150, 200 euros on getting your colour done. And then you go in and just buy a cheapy shampoo and a cheapy conditioner that's just going to like strip your hair. So I'm a stickler for using products for coloured hair if your hair is coloured. Now there's different types of coloured hair. So, if your hair is highlighted, it's probably drier. So you'll probably need something that's specifically for highlighted hair. So if your hair is coloured, as in, now when I say coloured, I mean, it could be tinted dark, it could be red, it could be your hair, which is blonde with different tones in it. Like you're not a bleach blonde, so you have different tones. So those tones can fade and wash up. So basically, if you don't use a product that's specifically designed for coloured hair, your colour is just going to wash away after a few washes. So again, back to Mane and Tail, they have a colour protect range, and that's proven to keep your colour vibrant for 8 weeks. So with all the like latest trends at the moment, all the plums and the burgundies and the blues and the reds, You know, it's a really good product for all them. And I just think, you know, whatever range you're into, just make sure it's for colored hair or highlighted hair. It's just so important, because otherwise you're just washing away your color down the drain, you know?
Yeah, that's really
Yeah, not a lot of people think of that though, Fiona. And like, you don't have to spend a fortune, you know, you don't have to spend a fortune once it's specific to your hair type. That's what I'm all about.
brilliant. But then, talking about the trends, if we're looking at the trends in general, that we're seeing across wolves and autumn, winter, what are your standout trends? What are your favorites?
So I like that it's like the autumn winter, they're actually very me, which is great. Because they're kind of, I like hair that's like, you know, done, but not overdone, you know. It's kind of the trend. So on the Dior catwalk, it was a lot about rebellious hair is what they did. So rebellious is kind of, I think it's like a nod to like this year being like the year of the woman, you know. And I think that they wanted to break away from the like polished, sleek, you know, ponytail. So, and that was seen on all the catwalks. That wasn't just Dior. But it's kind of like, you know, your hair is blow dried, but it's not like too perfect, you know, or you do like a bend instead of a curl. You know, you keep it a little bit messy, like you've probably seen like with the buns now. I can't get my head around it. I'm really trying to, because I did this like when it was on trend, like, I don't know, 10 years ago or 20 years ago probably. But you know, our girls are having now, like, they have the lovely bun, but they have the bits pulled down around the front, like kind of 1990s. So, you know, it's not like a polished bun anymore where we had it like stuck off our heads. There's loose bits around. And then it's kind of the ends, like if your hair is down, it's kind of flowy, kind of 60s, 70s. There's like, you know, flat caps, that sort of thing. You know, it's not as polished as it has been. So I like that. It's especially good for autumn winter.
And does that mean, Tori, that then it's a little easier to try and do it yourself at home if it's not overly polished?
Yeah, definitely, which is great. That's what I was saying. It's a lot easier this time of year to have hair that's less polished. I mean, it's not that it's not polished. You want to still have it looking like it's done, but you don't want to be overdone, you know? You kind of want to drop conformity a little bit. And if you're going to, say if you want to have your hair curled, you know, put a kink in it, use your natural curl. It's more about like using what you've got. So like, just totally off that subject, but I'd like to just say something about curly hair, because there's a lot of curly haired people out there and they don't get mentioned in, you know, this sort of thing. So it's all fine and dandy saying, you know, straighten your hair, put it in a bun or whatever. But for curly hair, a great thing about that is everyone wants to have that natural look at the moment. So for your own natural curl to embrace it, just let it free and just scrunch it with conditioner. Like, that's a really good tip. Like, don't force it. Like, just wash your hair, put your conditioner in, comb it through, and then like scrunch it. Like, don't bother with the diffuser or anything, and just let the conditioner dry in. And then you're keeping your hair soft. You know, your curls are soft. They're not hard and crispy like mousse would do. And you're also nourishing your hair. So everything is a lot more about being more natural, I think. You know, in hair anyway. Maybe not makeup, but definitely hair.
And then, can I ask you, we're talking about bangs as opposed to curls. Are you too curly? Any tips for how to get like bangs in your hair?
Yeah, so I have this great technique. If my hair wasn't already curled, I would have actually done it live for you, Fiona, because it only takes a couple of minutes.
Next time.
Should have thought about that next time. Basically, how I did this to my hair tonight is, because it literally takes 5 minutes, Fiona.
Hi, Tori. Sorry, guys. I think that's after freezing.
And then you pin the
Tori,
the
sorry.
curls.
I'm not sure if it was just me, but I think we lost you for a minute there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, just when you were show us.
Okay, I'll tell you again. Have you got me?
Yeah, we have you. Thanks a million.
Oh, good. Okay. So what you do is bring your hair all up into a ponytail, okay, on the top of your head.
Yep.
And when your ponytail is up, you should have like maybe 3 or 4 sections that you can wand. So I use a wand, and then I pin it in place on the top of my head until the curl cools. So literally 3 minutes. Take the pins out and take the ponytail down, and then just rough it up. And you're left with this. And that's literally what I did at like 20 to 8 this evening. And my hair was not like this, can I tell you, at 7:30. So there's a really good tip. And that's something that I would do.
Do anything when it's like this.
No. Yeah. Yeah. You'll see a few people, if you look at my Facebook page or my Instagram, you'll see a few people that have done that technique. We're calling it the Tori Keane technique. Because I invented it, but I should probably patent it. I wonder how I can own it. But it's really simple. And, I have small kids, so I needed to be able to do something that's quick, that can get me ready, Same with Ireland AM, like you're up so early, I kind of need something that's going to make me done, but not take forever. And then it kind of has that undone look that you're kind of looking for as well. So there's one way you could do it. And then another way is you could use your wand if you didn't want a full-on kind of curly look like this. Use your wand or your GHD. GHD have a gorgeous one actually at the moment, Fiona. It's just out for Christmas. It's the glaze. I know. It's a platinum, but it's like a glacier blue, and it's really rounded. So it's really good for doing a little kink, little wave in your hair. So you could just do your front sections, and then that's it. What else could you do that would be quick fixes? I just think with this weather being...
Sorry, I was going to say a bit of hairspray once you put the wave in. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, don't overload it with products. That's like the worst thing people can do. Maybe a bit of heat protector spray would be good. And actually the hair strengthener I spoke about in the mane and tail range, that has a UV and heat protector in it. So if you're going to use that when your hair is damp, or you can use it dry, as I said, that's a good one for if you're worried about the damaging effects. Like if you're using heat on it a lot, you should really. But yeah, just hairspray afterwards, because you don't want it to look really caked, you know. Yeah. And then as well, Fiona, brushes are very important.
Okay.
Like the type of brushes that you're using. There's a gorgeous one out that I'm using at the moment, and could be wrong, it's €25 or €24 or something, and it's GHD as well. But it's a gorgeous, I should have brought it so I could show you, but it's a paddle brush. It's called the oval dressing brush. Now it's so beautiful to even hold, but it's soft bristles, but they're anti-static bristles. So it's really good. And it actually, when you brush your hair with it, leaves your hair really soft, but it also gives it a sheen. Because whatever way the bristles work, it kind of, it doesn't produce your natural oils in that, like it makes your hair greasy, but it definitely stimulates them and it makes your hair really shiny. So that's a gorgeous brush for now, for the weather that we're having, just to keep your hair soft and not static.
Brilliant. Okay, that's fantastic.
So that's a good one to know about.
Brilliant. Yeah, and it's funny, you're right. We never think about things like brushes. You probably use the same one that you've had for a million years.
Yeah, I know. That's what we do. But look, I do too. It's only that I got this new one that I'm all over it and I'm mad about it. And like before that, I think I was using a tangle teaser, which there's nothing wrong with. But I have them for my kids, so they were working for me. It's funny, like I have my kit that has all the gorgeous things in it for everybody else. And then you want to see the things I use on myself.
It's always the same.
Yeah. Now, if I'm going all out, I'll get my kit and I'll give myself the treat. But yeah, like it's good to have, to have for yourself a good fine tooth comb, a soft bristle brush, so that will keep your hair soft, or for smoothing out back combing or anything like that. Then you want to have some good roll brushes, barrel brushes. I love the Pro Blow ones. I don't know if you've ever heard of Pro Blow. If you haven't, have a look, Fiona. They're amazing. So Pro Blow are my favorite. You probably have seen this. They have a detachable handle.
I have.
So, did you see them? Yeah. So you roll them into the hair, you take the handle off. Yeah, they're brilliant. So like that's what I have really as my staple things. So that's like soft brush, a comb, and
things.
they're pro glows. Yeah, they're my things.
Brilliant. Okay, we'll be off tomorrow now.
I know. Yeah.
Well, Tori, listen, thanks so much for your time. Apologies guys for the sound on my side, but hopefully I'm sure you saw your story perfectly, and that was the main thing. And as you said, we will comment below and we'll get some goodies out to somebody who has one.
Definitely. Yeah.
Brilliant. And I'll link Tori and all the products that you mentioned in the description as well.
Oh yes. Good idea.
And just you know, we're taking a break next week because at this time a lot of people get trick or treating. So we're back the week after with a fantastic makeup artist and I'll do that close to the time. So thanks everybody for joining. Tori, thanks again so much, and we'll see you again.
Bye.